Freedom is arguably the most sought-after human right in the world. As we continue to evolve as people, it's become increasingly important that we're able to live in a country where one can have the freedom to voice their opinions, practice their religions, while also having them accepted, as well as being appreciated by other people who share different beliefs. For the longest time, the US was one of the freest countries in the world. But that's changed in recent years, as other countries up their game in regards to personal and economic freedom for their residents. What countries beat out the good old US of A? Good question. Let's break it down and take a look at this video, where we discuss 10 of the freest countries in the world. But first, before we begin, be sure to hit that like button to help us out. Your continued support keeps these videos coming. Now, without further ado, here are 10 of the freest countries in the world. Number 10. Sweden. Getting right down to it, let's kick off this list with our 10th entry, Sweden. Sweden is considered a parliamentary monarchy that has free and fair elections, as well as an efficient and powerful multi-party system. Civil liberties and political rights are guaranteed legally to the citizens and respected in practice, allowing the rule of the law to prevail. When it comes to political parties, they're permitted to form and operate without any type of restrictions. The country's principal religious, ethnic, and immigrant groups are also alive and present in the parliament, including a fair share of women as well. Overall, corruption is generally non-existent in Sweden, and anti-corruption mechanisms prove to be extraordinarily effective in preventing the little bit that does fall through the cracks. The country's lively free press also does its part to root out and expose corrupt officials. It's worth pointing out that the country has one of the most in-depth freedoms of information statutes out of the entire planet, and state authorities typically respect the right of both citizens and non-citizens to access and view public information. Number 9. Germany. Next on our list is Germany. They're based around a representative democracy with a strong political culture and equally powerful civil society. The Federal Republic of Germany states that it grants freedom of speech, expression, and opinion to its citizens. Political rights and civil liberties are largely assured both in practice as well as in law. The political system of Germany is influenced by the country's totalitarian past, which deployed constitutional safeguards that were put in place to try and prevent authoritarian rule. While it's true that the German government is no stranger to being consensus-oriented, opposition parties have a realistic opportunity to boost their support and gain power by using elections. While on the topic of elections, the German government is democratically accountable to the voters, allowing them to be free to cast their support behind whatever candidates and parties they want to, without having to worry about the undue influence on their political choices. Number 8. Estonia. Estonia was at the forefront of online voting, becoming the first country in the world to allow it in 2005. The country is often considered to have the most digitally advanced economy on the globe, boasting Wi-Fi hotspots all over the countryside, even in its wooded forest areas. The Estonian government has all its services available online, which shows their remarkable advancements as a society. Estonia's democratic institutions are typically very strong, and both political rights and civil liberties are generally well respected amongst its citizens. It's also worth pointing out that Estonia's political parties organize and operate freely, which in turn allows the political landscape to remain competitive and open to the public. Arguably, one of their best displays of how they embody freedom is being known for their high degree of government transparency. Estonia stands out as one of the top territories in the EU for providing transparency and an effective public procurement system. This, coupled with their well-developed e-governance services, makes them an obvious candidate for this list. Number 7. Ireland. The Irish economy over the years has maintained proper and strong standings in regards to the ranks of the economically free. As their economy looks on, further reforms are directed at improving the overall quality of judicial processes and also fully privatizing the banking sector. Their government believes that this would help to solidify Ireland's status as a free economy. The property rights of the country are protected rather well, and secured interests in property, both real estate and chattel, are not only recognized but also enforced. The contracts are safe and secure, and expropriation is considered to be very rare. The legal system of Ireland is based on common law, and the judiciary works independently. Outright public corruption seldom happens, and on the rare occasion that it does, it is investigated and prosecuted. While Ireland may have a strong belief in Christianity, with 90% of all national schools being Catholic, its constitution guarantees freedom of religion, while at the same time prohibiting discrimination on the grounds of religion. Number 6. Canada. Canada takes over our number 6 slot on our list, thanks to having a strong history of respect for political rights and civil liberties. They've recently taken a strong stance when it comes down to the interest of protecting the rights of the LGBT community. A law adopted in 2017 explicitly prohibits discrimination based on gender identity or gender expression, affording transgender individuals, among others, more protection against hate crimes. It's also worth pointing out that Canada's media is generally free. Those who are employed as journalists are generally protected from harassment and other forms of violence that may occur in their line of work, and they're also allowed to express their diverse viewpoints. To drive home Canada's views on freedom a tad bit further, we'll literally look at a page from the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, page 2 to be exact. It reads, Fundamental Freedoms. 2. Everyone has the following fundamental freedoms: freedom of conscience and religion, freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, including freedom of the press and other media of communication, freedom of peaceful assembly, and freedom of association. Don't know about you, but it all sounds pretty good to me. Guess what? We've hit the halfway mark of our video. If you're still with us, comment freedom below. Number 5. Australia. With an open and free market economy, businesses and individuals are able to take advantage of a high level of economic freedom, as well as garner strong protection when it comes to property rights. The Australian government typically does not restrict social freedoms, which is a good indicator of why they're sitting at number 4 on our list. No stranger to freedom, Australia has a rather strong track record of pushing forward and protecting political rights and civil liberties. Citizens may organize political parties without facing any type of restrictions. Registration and recognition as a political party only require a party constitution and either 500 members on the electoral roll or just 1 member in parliament. With a focus on freedom like Australia has, it's no wonder how the land down under has found itself in the middle of our list. Number 4. Denmark. Did you know that Denmark is ranked as the happiest country in the world? If you're wondering why that may be, consider that maybe it's because they recognize a 33-hour work week, $20 minimum wages, free universities, and medical care. Oh, not to mention free childcare and an impressively low level of crime and corruption. At its core, Denmark is a powerful and robust democracy, with regular free and fair elections. Those who are lucky enough to call this beautiful country their home certainly enjoy full political rights. The government protects free association and expression, and the judiciary functions independently. Their government has been dedicated to protecting human rights, calling it a crucial commitment for their country, both internationally and domestically. This is based on the Danes' belief that they are the very foundation on which society must progress. Citizens living with security, freedom, and dignity will be compassionate, creative, effective, and hold a higher degree of trust for one another. Number 3. Hong Kong. Our number 3 entry may confuse a few people, since China itself isn't on the list. It just happens that Hong Kong is an SAR, or Special Administrative Region. This means that China doesn't technically govern Hong Kong. Instead, there's a complex set of rules that they follow. The best way to explain this is to think, one country, two systems. Another way the country has earned its spot on our list is because their government will help citizens live on very low incomes by providing public housing to about 50% of the population. A fun bit of information we found in regards to Hong Kong is the Octopus card, which simplifies life in the city. Nowadays, it's all you need for a fun-filled day in Hong Kong. You can use this card to pay for all public transportation, fast food, vending machines, 7-Eleven impulse buys, park and shop grocery runs, and yes, even roller skate rentals. The Octopus even comes in a tiny SIM card-sized chip that can be dangled on bracelets like Lucky Charms. Number 2. Switzerland. One thing that some people don't know about Switzerland is that it's home to a ton of the world's richest cities. Because of that, some might find it strange that they also appear on this list of being thought as providing a lot of freedoms. The rule of law is for secure property rights that provides its citizens the confidence to undertake entrepreneurial activity, save, and invest in long-term plans. Also worth noting is the degree to which the Swiss government prohibits the free flow of foreign commerce, and finance has a direct impact on the ability of the citizens to pursue personal economic plans. When it comes down to trade freedom, Switzerland ranked first, with foreign investors suffering from nearly no discrimination and financial sources being plentiful. So, what does that all mean really? Research that has been conducted for over 21 years by the Heritage Foundation discovered that those given more freedom to prosper economically end up being healthier, better educated, better protectors of the environment, and generally live longer lives than the latter. You're nearly at the end of our video. We're on a mission to explore all of Earth's amazing destinations. Make sure you're subscribed, that way you'll always be notified of our latest videos. Number 1. New Zealand. And just like that, here we are at our number 1 choice for the freest country in the world, New Zealand. New Zealand is a parliamentary democracy that carries with it a long record of free and fair elections. On top of that, the country also guarantees political rights and civil liberties to its citizens. Concerns include discrimination against the Maori and other minority populations, as well as reports of foreign influence in politics and the education sector. The following is located on the New Zealand government's website. Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms we're all entitled to, no matter what our age, ethnicity, culture, religion, or sex. The Human Rights Act protects people in New Zealand from discrimination. Unlawful discrimination is when you're treated unfairly or less favorably than another person because of your age, color, disability, employment status, ethical belief, ethnic or national origin, family status, marital status, political opinion, race, religious belief, sex, or sexual orientation. In regards to the Basic Rights and Freedom Act, it reads, "The Act includes areas of public life where it's unlawful to discriminate against anyone. You cannot be denied access to things like government services, education, public places, employment, housing, and accommodation." Children's rights cover things like what children should and should not be allowed to do, how children should be treated, how they should be protected. Don't know about you, but sounds pretty good to me. Hey everyone, thank you once again for watching. Do you have a video to suggest or something you'd like to say? Let us know in the comments section down below. Check out our countries playlist for more videos like this one.